Hello everyone, this is Jonathan Little. I'm here today with the 39th week of weeklypokerhand.com, where today I'm going to be going over a hand from the final table of the 2010 World Series of Poker main event. This is from an online stream, so I have no clue what the commentary is going to be like. But this hand is going to feature Joseph Cheong, who is about as big of a maniac as you could possibly be, and Jonathan Duhamel, who has varied, at least in my experience, from playing sort of like a really tight aggressive game to an overly loose aggressive game. So I guess he does whatever the table allows him, and I think he plays pretty well. So let's check out this hand. You can't really see what's going on here because this is, like I said, an online stream, but both players are pretty deep. John Raciner sitting over here just, or maybe this is Raciner. One of them sitting over, Raciner sitting over here just hanging out.
And here's Duhamel getting a little bit of revenge.
So here, Joseph Cheong raises, and Duhamel is thinking about calling. And the big blind.
Three-bet over and over again lately.
Assuming that Cheong has read Duhamel perfectly all day long. Anytime that...
So here, Joseph Cheong raises the small blind, Duhamel 3-bets the big blind. And I believe in this hand, both these guys have a lot of chips, to where Raciner has very few chips. So in this spot, neither player really should want to go broke and should not want to get all in.
Put a lot of money in the pot. It should favor Cheong.
Well, the last time they put a lot of money in the pot, it favored Duhamel. But
Yeah.
this time, pre-flop, we're talking another big race. This is another big 4-bet from Cheong.
So here, Cheong 4-bets,
Boy, he's
applying a lot of
run
pressure.
over right now, and he's got to be getting tired of
He
it.
feels like he's getting run over.
He's got to be getting tired of it. Raise, Raciner moves in. Raise, Raciner moves in. Raise, Cheong 3-bets. He 3-bets a Cheong raise, Cheong 4-bets. He 3-bets a Cheong raise, Cheong 4-bets. I mean, just over and over and over again.
So what they're saying here is that basically what's happened at this final table is that Cheong has raised, Duhamel 3-bets, Cheong 4-bets. So basically Cheong is just putting in the last bet every time. And if that's the case, against a guy like that, you really just need to sit back and wait for a hand, and that's how you're going to end up busting the guy, or at least getting it in really good.
He had 112, 115 million. He's down to 88 million.
Okay, so one of these guys has 88 million. So right here, Cheong makes it 14.5 million. Yeah, I mean, if I'm sitting over here in Duhamel's spot and I have something like aces, kings, queens, against a guy that's this big of a maniac, I may go ahead and... Actually, if I know if I'm playing as Joseph Cheong, I'm just going to make it 26,000 or something. Or 26 million, and OP spazzes out, assuming the stacks are 88k deep. Or 88 million deep. You could also consider a call and hope he spazzes post-flop, but in the main event, you really don't want to open yourself to like such a huge guessing game, I wouldn't think, especially against someone that's pretty aggressive. They can certainly take odd lines against you post-flop and put you in trouble. So I would go ahead and just 5-bet with my strong hands. If I had garbage, I actually don't think I would have 3-bet in the first place. I think the way to go about beating these guys that are constantly raising the small blind is just call in the big blind with a really wide range of, you know, your medium strength hands, and then 3-bet some occasional absolute trash with the intention of folding to 4-bets, and obviously getting in with the good hands.
Before this hand started, and
So let's fast forward a little bit,
on the sideline, so he can't help but be happy.
because this hand apparently is going to take forever.
But the internet has opened up. It's never used to...
stats. That's 22.75 million.
So let's get it right.
Okay, so what happens here is Duhamel re-raises to 26.75 million, which is pretty much exactly what I said I'd do. I guess it should be worth mentioning I've never seen this hand, and I have no clue what happens. Well, I guess I'd have some clue what happens because Duhamel wins, but I actually don't know what these guys are going to show up with or what's going to be happening. I really don't watch a whole lot of TV poker, which may be a leak in my game, particularly now that they're doing a lot of these live streams. But, yeah, I don't watch too much
Cheong
live
raised out
poker.
of small blind. I wonder
So now they're sitting here just hanging out
if he
thinking.
moves in and he's right, he is going to have a massive chip lead.
So right here they just say if Cheong moves in and Duhamel folds, he'll have a massive chip lead. He'll pick up a lot of these chips. And I actually think in that situation, and because of that, if I was in Cheong's spot, I would not mind a shove if it was like me, because I'm not really shoving here too often. But the problem is in Joseph Cheong's spot is he can have something like ace-jack, and it could conceivably be the nuts because he's been pounding on the guy so much. So it makes him sort of be in a guessing game here. However, It's tough to know what a guy's going to do whenever there's a ton of money on the line. Like, the difference in the spot between first place and third place is probably something like $7 million, which is obviously a ton of money. So if I'm in Chung's spot here, and I think the guy is going to be capable of folding something like ace-queen, or if he's even going to play the ace-queen bad enough to 3-bet it, then 4-bet it, then fold. I'm sorry, 3-bet it, then 5-bet it, then fold. I'm certainly going to jam a very wide range. So what this really boils down to is how often is the guy folding. And what you need to do to figure this out is figure out his 3-betting range, right? Which doesn't really matter, because now we're only talking about his 5-betting range. So what hands is this guy going to be 5-betting with for value, and which hands is he going to be 5-betting with as a bluff? So let's assume he's going to 5-bet aces, kings, queens, jacks. Maybe not even jacks. Let's give him half the jacks. And then let's assume he's going to be 3-betting a few of these random hands as a bluff, like something like this. So you see this is 5% of hands, right? If we now take out all of these junky hands, we have to figure out how often he's going to fold. So assuming he's going to call with all these hands, see we're left with 2.8% of hands. So he's going to be folding maybe at the most 40% of the time. And whenever you're risking that many chips, I honestly do not think it's going to be worth it to shove. But if he's going to be folding significantly more than that, like say 60 or 70% of the time, I think an all-in's probably a good play.
All right, and if he moves
Queens.
So let's fast forward a little bit.
Oh my God.
And Cheong does shove, and I don't really hate the play. I don't even know what he has, but it's a tough spot because I don't know how exactly hard he's been pounding on Duhamel. If he's been like just wrecking Duhamel, raising, 3-betting, 4-betting constantly, I don't really like it because Duhamel should eventually figure it out and pick up a hand. And really that's the only way to go about playing an absolute maniac in position is 3-bet your nuts, 3-bet some junk hands, and call with a lot of medium strength hands. And I don't know if Duhamel was doing that, but that's definitely the play. That's how I would play Joseph Cheong in this spot for sure. Now that he is 4-betting and 5-betting and 6-betting, whatever, I would assume he has a pretty good hand. So I think Cheong should probably give up, assuming he thinks Duhamel is never going to make a bluff here. But if he thinks Duhamel's bluff range is really wide, I don't hate a shove with anything, particularly hands that are either going to flop well, like 9-8 suited, Jack-10 suited, stuff like that, or Ace-X type hands, preferably Ace-X suited, like Ace-2 of spades, Ace-3 of spades, Ace-4 of spades. A lot of people don't realize this, but hands like Ace-4 of spades, let's give one guy Ace-4 of spades, let's give the other guy kings. You'll see Ace-4 of spades actually has like 33% equity, which is pretty good. So if the guy's folding a decent amount of the time, you definitely want to have something like this. You'll see 9-8 of spades is significantly worse than Ace-4 of spades. So you want to have hands that have some equity when you get called. And obviously when you get called here, you're just going to be in bad shape a lot of the time. But you want to be in the least bad shape as possible. So hands like Ace-4 suited are going to do really well. And if I would be shoving as a bluff here, it would be with something squarely like that, I think. I'm really not going to be bluffing here too often, though.
Now we find out and he didn't get turbo called. He called. He's been called. Kings or queens? Uh-oh, Cheong hates it. Cheong hates it.
Okay, so Duhamel has queens. Pretty standard call, I think. Don't know what this is. And Cheong has
queen for all that time. Unbelievable. I mean, this is...
Cheong has something.
He had the money in...
Get another 4.
Well, I thought you probably...
Cheong has the Ace-7, so... Probably not a terrible shove, probably not a great shove. As you see, he does have 28% equity, and a lot of people don't really realize this. Like, say Duhamel did have Ace-King. Let's say Ace-King suited. Well, can't do that. Let's see. You'll see that Cheong even has 25% equity here, so it's never like he's drawing dead with an ace, and I think that's what a lot of people don't realize. They think, oh, what a ridiculous shove that this guy's shoving here with Ace-7. But you have to realize that if you think you have fold equity, these shoves are actually not bad at all. I think they're actually pretty good, particularly in bubble spots, because Duhamel may fold out almost his entire range. Obviously, he pretty much snap called with queens, so that makes me think he may snap call with something like jacks here if he played it the same way, and also ace-king. But some of these tighter guys, they'll just talk themselves into a fold. They're like, wow, I can't believe I'm going to fold this, but they will. And the problem that Cheong has here is that his range just looks so wide because he's an absolute maniac. And I imagine he must have just like maniaced it up to final table of the main event. And because of that, I think that he has to be careful about his shoving range because people are going to call him a little bit lighter. If guys start calling with hands like ace-queen and ace-jack and pocket tens and stuff like that, then obviously as a shove with ace 7 is going to be pretty bad because you're going to be getting calls significantly more often. But yeah, so that's that for this hand. If you guys have any questions or comments, please feel free to let me know. This has been Jonathan Little for weeklypokerhand.com. Thanks for watching.